Cities have enormous potential to improve well-being. They can be regenerative, living environments that enhance both human and more than human well-being. To fully realise that potential, we'll need to actively transition from our current polluting, commuting, car-centric cities to an urbanism that puts social and ecological vitality at the centre of urban policy and design. And that transition's already happening. We're already changing to a new old kind of urbanism that's socially and ecologically connected. We know that our cities and wider culture need to make change in 5 key urban systems. We need to move from ecological degeneration to ecological regeneration, from carbon-based energy to zero-carbon energy, from linear take-make-waste economic systems to circular regenerative economies, and from socially, ecologically and culturally disconnected communities to highly connected and resource-filled communities. And at the finer grain of the city, our buildings and built environments need to shift from being ecologically unsustainable to being regenerative as they generate new resource and enhance social and ecological well-being. Our Ngā Tohu Ora Urban Wellbeing Compass visualises this complex urban system change as a wellbeing centred whole. And these transitions are already happening. Cities are already starting to integrate ecologically regenerative, nature-based systems. If we make our cities more green and blue, with more trees and more healthy water environments, we increase the carbon sink capacity of that city, enabling it to draw down more carbon, addressing fossil fuel-driven climate change. By increasing local biodiversity, we can improve the life support capacity, the productivity, resilience and health of the ecosystems we all rely on. And with green-blue sponge city approaches, using trees, wetlands and rain gardens, for example, we can increase urban resilience to floods. With urban trees and green shading strategies, we can increase resilience to extreme heat events. We know that natural environments have huge positive effects on our human well-being. Research shows that access to green and blue space can reduce depression and stress and improve brain acuity and attention. Our breathing slows in greener spaces, leading to a calming response as our parasympathetic rest-digest nervous system switches on. We can heal quicker when exposed to natural environments. Urban nature spaces, parks or community gardens for example, can also be important sites of social and cultural connection, which also brings well-being. How we generate energy can either harm or improve the well-being of both people and planet. Carbon-based fossil fuel energy harms the well-being of planet and people as it increases atmospheric carbon, destabilising climate. Acting quickly to transition to a zero-carbon energy system for both buildings and transport will bring with it a range of well-being benefits as carbon emissions and other associated pollutants and particulates decrease. Also, a transition to zero-carbon energy enables a local and distributed approach where power can be generated on solar panels on the roofs of buildings. Having building-based batteries builds energy resilience, particularly when storm events disrupt the national grid. Transitioning to biodegradable and non-toxic materials is an active strategy for human and ecosystem well-being. Zero-waste systems such as composting, recycling, repurposing encourage a circular resource-to-resource approach that reduces our impacts on ecological life support systems. How we design our urban relationships, form and infrastructures can have huge well-being effects, influencing how socially connected we are, how much energy we use or how active we are. Research shows that creating walkable or bikeable neighbourhoods activates social, cultural and ecological connections that can strongly enhance our well-being. Staying local, with local access to work, education and services, reduces the need for commuting, thereby reducing transport energy expenditure, stressful commute times and inactivity. Third spaces like libraries, marae, cafes, parks and gardens can enable the community interactions which are good for our mental and physical health. Buildings can be designed for biophilia so that they strongly connect to nature and the exterior. They can incorporate living systems like green roofs and flood-resilient swales and wetlands. They can generate local, zero-carbon energy with rooftop solar, use circular, low-carbon and renewable, low-toxin materials, and they can encourage well-being from social connection, designing for intergenerational or co-housing scenarios. As we design with well-being in mind, we can take advantage of the co-benefits and synergies that occur with a holistic well-being-led approach. For example, as you increase biodiversity and regenerate ecosystems, addressing the current extinction crisis, you also increase the capacity of ecosystems to bank carbon, thus contributing to addressing the climate crisis. Also, as you increase access to urban ecosystems, you increase human well-being in proven ways. Our cities have enormous potential to actively increase our own human well-being, as well as the well-being of the ecosystems which sustain our lives. Well-being or WELLBEING-centred cities can be designed and developed to build urban resilience and the social, economic and ecological vitality so needed at this time of change. Mauri oho, mauri tu, mauri ora, kia tātou katoa. Haumie, hui, tae ki e.